Welcome back, as we continue with part 2. In Colossians chapter 1 verse 16, Paul goes on to tell us, "For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him." And again, most in the Christian faith believe Paul was teaching the whole of the Genesis creation was made by or through Jesus. But if we go to the very next statement by John in Revelation chapter 1 verse 5, look at what we see and read, that Jesus is, and the ruler of the kings of the earth, Revelation chapter 1 verse 5. And again look at what Paul says in Colossians chapter 1 verse 16, "For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him." Now let's open our page to what Jesus told us in Matthew chapter 28 verse 18. "And having come to them, Jesus spoke to them, saying, All authority in heaven and on the earth has been given to me." So, first point, did you notice how John chapter 1 verse 5 mentions nothing about Jesus being with God, or Jesus as the creator of the Genesis creation? And yet again, would not John saying Jesus was with God at creation helping God, or Jesus was the creator, be a most important fact to reveal? This simply confirms how Paul is not teaching what most believe, that Jesus was with God, or was the creator of the Genesis creation. But instead Paul is confirming with Matthew chapter 28 verse 18, and Revelation chapter 1 verse 5, saying, Jesus has all authority in heaven and on the earth. Also, as we read in Revelation chapter 1 verse 5, Jesus is, and the ruler of the kings of the earth. This proves there are no contradictions by Paul in Colossians chapter 1 verses 15, 16, but instead Paul was teaching what Jesus and John said, wrote, and taught. With all that in mind, that raises a serious question: if Jesus pre-existed his flesh, then what was he? Yes, he would have to have been an angel, and that makes a false Christ, and not a true man, or second, perfect Adam.